Yo, what's up everyone, this is Brooks. I'm back from tour, back in the studio, and I was checking my YouTube channel to see how the Masterclass was doing that I did for the Hold On remix for Telecast. And I saw a couple people ask for a more extensive breakdown of how I did my track Monster on Futurize Music quite some time ago now. But I figured I'll just record a longer Masterclass for you guys to just upload on my YouTube. I got the project in front of me for the drop, and I'll take you through the mix, the master, what samples I choose, all of that. And then after, I'll take you through the breakdown because it's in a different project. So yeah, like I said, I got the project in front of me here. Let's see, this works perfect. Yeah, so this is the track for, in case you guys haven't heard it yet. So that's the basic idea of it. And I think the most important part of it, like this looks very overwhelming by the way, this is just, this whole section is the vocal chops. This is like the mid and the chords and stuff, and this is all percussions and these are all fills. But I think the most important part is this sound here. That's what I based it all off. So let's see this sound. It's running through a filter right now, but let's see. It was a little out of key, but let's see if we can. So that's this sound, and the funny part is it's actually this bass loop. So I found this drum and bass loop. As you can see, it's 172 BPM. So that's this sound right here. If I now let's just make this unique, just to show you guys what it sounds like without any processing or editing whatsoever. So this is the loop that I found. As you can tell, like a really cool loop for drum and bass. And everything that you heard here, so the loop that I just showed you, this one, is basically just that sample that I just showed you, just cut up, sped up. I think it's even in reverse, if I remember. Yeah, it's in reverse, pitched up, time stretched, and then you get that. And that's basically where I based the whole track off of. So it's funny to keep in mind. It's just one sample, and really liked the idea of it. And then just started building from there. So let's just quickly go through the kicks and claps. It's nothing that special. It's just a bunch of stuff layered. We'll go through them one by one. So this is just like a low end kick. Just the sub used, frequency splitter, and a compressor. So this is just like the sub end. Probably added like a clicky thing here. No. Just another layer of the kick. You can barely hear it. But it already makes the kick more there. This is called a Kirby kick. Also just for the top end. And then one more. Just a very snappy kind of click. And then together it sounds like this. Not that much processing on it, but I think it's cool to hear, because now you really get a better idea of the rhythm of the sample that I chopped up. If it's on, let's unmute everything. Let's see if I can, yeah, these are probably, it is filtered out somewhere. It's probably this. It's that one. Okay. I think from there on, it's best to look at the bass line, which is this one, which is very interesting as well. So if you have the kick, the sound that we chopped up from the sample, and then this bass line right here. Something really doesn't work that well with the sample there, but there's so much happening you barely even hear it, so probably just didn't fix that. But here's the bass line. We'll go through it part by part. as always, this sub that I always use from Spire, it's really sick. It sounds like there's an R bass on it. Yeah, so an R bass on it. Frequency at 55. And what that does is basically just stacks the frequency. So like instead of just a very low sub frequency, it like doubles, it keeps doubling it. So like it sounds like it's getting more, it's warmer. Let's see the processing on it. It's just like a very low, like below the 30 hertz, quite high actually. So I would recommend putting this a little bit lower. Same with the kick. But yeah, this is the sub. Very heavy compression on it. Some fruity balance is just a volume LFO. To kickstart, what I like to do on my sub is have a kickstart that just follows all the other kickstarts. So like the sidechain for all the other basses. And then on the sub itself, I like to get a very steep, like half beat sidechain and just turn the mix down into like it really brings up the pump in the sub and the kick if they work together. So that's the sub layer. It's this whole sound consists of a couple sounds, so we'll just go through that. So there's a serum. If it opens, it does. This is 100% just a preset. Only tweaked around with the LFO build. I really like the grittiness of it. Let's see if there's any processing on it. Just cut out the low end, a little bit of the high. And a compressor on it, just to like get the snappiness down of it. And a kickstart, just to sidechain it. And then what I use for a lot of bass lines is this this white noise made in Citrus. I think I've talked about this in the last masterclass as well. So if you want a more in-depth explanation of how to make it, go check that one out. But I basically just layer this together with the sub and the grittiness, and you get this really like nice texture on top of it. It's not everywhere, but as you can see, it's really cool because like the lower you play it, the lower you play, the more it like flutters kinda. So you can do really cool parts, stuff like this where you put a note really high and then make it slide down. So it like flutters really much at the start of the note, and then it's slowly like the LFO turns down more and more. But if you combine all of that, like the kick, the chopped up sample and the bass line here, you're already really starting to get there, right? And let's just add the percussion here. So there's a lot of like shifted and layered claps, but this is all just preference. Like there's like one really cool characteristic sound, that one. That goes on the whole, like I really like the sound of that. Other than that, it's just like basic claps basically. This is all just cut up from loops and very basic 808 clap from 99. I know what this is. This is a tom or like a kick as well. And altogether that sounds like this. I don't know if there's a lot of processing on it. Yeah, like I said, it's just like cutting out the low end. So you don't really need that in claps, in my opinion. Same for this one, probably same for this one as well. Oh, there's a transient processor. I'll just use it back a little bit. But there you have the kick and the clap. This, like the Cashmere drop clap, or use it in a lot of tracks. It's really great to like fill stuff up. And I just make it fade in and out here, chop it up. And here just a percussion loop that comes in for the B part. So there's that. Let's see, there's also some percussion fills here. So let's turn those on as well. Let's first check what they are. Just a hi-hat, another hi-hat, some kind of ride shaker thing, and an open hat. So let's see how this went together. But yeah, once again, not a lot of weird processing on it. Just got out the low end, sometimes a transient processor to like control the peaks of it. But all of that together sounds like this. And you can tell like really start to move there already. Let's just open up the other fills as well. Just take it through those. Once again, these fills are all probably from Splice or old sample packs that I have, and it's just a matter of like puzzling, I guess. Like you just scroll through drum fills that you like, see if it fits the rhythm of the track. A lot of times I just play the bass line, for example, and the kick. And from there on, you can kind of imagine where the fills should be or could be or have room to be. So if you, oh, these are all muted, but like, for example, this sound, it's a whole fill, but I only use this part of it, like this little, and yeah, like I said just now, if you have the kick and the bass, it's very easy to see where the fills are. And it's really starting to bounce a bit better now. So especially if you add the claps to this as well and the hi-hats, you can really feel that the track is coming together. Obviously there's a lot still happening with the fills here, extra sounds, but this is like the base of the track. So you have the let's put this down here so we don't have to. And it's really starting to move already. So from here, we just see what else we can do to fill it up. So it's just like one step on the first hit. So yeah, let's see. These chords are there to add to the sample because we have, as you know, we have this sample here. And they just added these chords to like. Yeah, they're really, something is so out of key there. I didn't even notice that. But yeah, that's just add some synths to it. It's just some saw waves, super simple, and just distort it a little bit, and there you go. Probably not a lot of processing on it at all. Yeah, like I said, some distortion on it. Got at the low end, a little bit highs and sidechain, and that's literally all the processing on it. Just to complement the chopped up sample, because a lot of times when you do chop up samples, it does lose a lot of quality, and you can add a lot of warmth back into it to use like real synths instead of just using the chopped up sample. So let's see what we have now. We have the bass line then, all the kicks and claps. There's probably a quicker way to do this, but I'm old school, so I'm still doing it this way. And then the percussion and the percussive fills. And from here on, I showed this in the last masterclass as well, probably every masterclass I've ever done. A lot of people always ask me like, how do I select these samples and where do I, how do I know which one to use, which one doesn't? And honestly, it's just a lot of trial and error. A lot of you guys probably use Splice as well. I'm literally just like you guys scrolling down for hours to find cool sounds that work. There's no real like set way to do it. But we'll just go through all the samples by himself. So this is a sample that I found from Leviathan, which was like a full loop, which I use a lot in the break, which I'll take you back to when we're going through the break project file. But this is just one of those sounds that I wanted to use in the drop as well to like have that return. So that's one stab there. And this is just a white noise. So there you have these two. Then this is just a bass block. That goes from, this is panning, so the bass goes from left to right. Another white noise shot. Let's see what this is. This is just a reverse bass thing, I think. And kind of like a gritty stuff. It's also Leviathan, I think. Like basically all this Leviathan looks like it. It's a really cool sound actually, so let me save that. So basically all this is a white noise, the break block that is also from the Vite and that I used in the break that I wanted to use in the drop. So I used it here and then I pitched it together with the bassline, so it's in key. Then we have some gritty stuff like this. Vengeance dubstep maybe, I don't know what this is, but it's a Vengeance sample. Used twice here, and then when you have the A part and that's over, it switches to the B part, and there I just follow the bass line, I think. Another white noise. The same sound here. This is the bass line as well, chopped up. It's from a Noisia sample pack. Quick tip, if you are looking for sounds like this, the Noisia sample packs are amazing. It can be quite intimidating just to figure out what to do with all these crazy loops, and they put so much attention to detail. But what I like to do is just to chop up small parts of the crazy long loops and just pitch them up together with the bass line, so it really fills it up. And here, once again, it's just another really small part that I chopped up. This is some grit as well from the Vengeance Effects sample pack, and here another Noisia one. So these are all the samples, and I basically just repeat this process here. Maybe some fills like this, but we'll go there in a bit. But then other than the top part of the drop, so like the vocal chops and stuff, I think we have basically everything covered now. So let's mute all of the stuff that we haven't gone through yet and listen to what all of it sounds together that I just showed you. Sounds really full already, right? And then all I needed is something on top. So what I did for this track was just the vocal chops. So track is done with Raffi, he's the singer. And his voice is just so good. So I decided, let's just, like you can use leads or whatever. For this track, I just wanted to use his voice because it's such a strong voice and it's such a cool character on it as well. As you can see, this looks kind of overwhelming, but once you like figure out like what it actually is doing, it's basically just his vocal stacked a lot of times and processed a lot of different ways. So I can show you, for example, nothing really crazy processing wise. Like once again, I just cut out the low end, sidechain, and for this, the DS I didn't load, but for the original track, the radio version that's out, this did load. But all you want to do is like take out some of the S's and the rough frequencies. So this is the first layer. As you can see, like it's just the same vocal, same stuff. I did it differently. This one is the volume turned down. There's no processing on here at all. So it is sent to like a layer, like a bus. So it's just some EQing here, some rough frequencies, a reverb that automates here on and off. So that's probably this one. Yeah. So as you can see, it like fades in and out here. And then one pitched up, one dry pitched up, and one pitched down. So all of that together, it sounds really full. Especially if you had the volume and the reverb automation. Let's see, there's more layers to it. I don't know why this isn't playing. Oh, this is just a vocoder, okay. So it's kind of like a top box effect. So it's just like parts chopped from the vocal and then ran through a vocoder. I used the vocoder more in depth in the break. So once we get to the break, I'll fully dive into the vocoder. But for now, let's just focus on everything that's here. So for the top part, we have this ready now. And as you can see here, there are some sharp frequencies that would have been cut out by the de-esser. So that's why it's important to have those on it when you're working with vocals, in my opinion. Then the only thing that's left is here that's... Oh. So this is with Little Altar Boy, I think. Yeah. So if you put this on robot, it just like only sings on one note. And then you can pitch it up and pitch up or down with this automation here, as you can see. And it just still does the root note, but like or like just one steady note, but like with the pitch automation, it will take it down however you automate it. So, for example, I could also do this. Just so you have an idea of what it's doing. And then we have this, which is, as you can see, like new mix 14 version 11. A lot of times with vocals that I work with, especially if I process them and use them in a job in a project like this, I just bounce out the vocal, fully vocoded, and have that as a file to work with as well. So as you can see here, like this whole thing, I can probably show you what it all sounds like. Let's see if it works. I just bounce out all these different ideas that I have, different... And from there on, I just chop up whatever I need. And here in the beginning, new other ideas. So for example, this is really nice to have everything in one place instead of stuff like this. So all of the files that you see here probably all originated from this single file. So it's very good for like your workflow if you just get everything in one file and then start chopping it up from there. So let's get back to the vocal chops. I think we have everything covered now. So we have all of these that we just went through. I don't know what this is, it's muted, but... Yeah, okay, I muted, that was probably too much because there was already so much happening. I added one more layer here, I see. That's just a dirty detuned saw. To add some harmonies. There's a little bit more fills here and white noise. So this is a white noise. And then I don't know what this is. Also a Leviathan sample, I see. Just complement the vocal, like to layer the vocal chop a bit more. And then here I think it's super high pitched. And once again the same trick with the reverb where you fade it in and out. I don't know what this is, it's muted. And here's just another dry. And then all together it sounds like this. Oh, let's I don't know what this is. Just a reverse sample. Automate the panning, the volume. And then we have the top end of the track. And then all that together sounds like this. Cool fill as well, maybe that'd be cool to show. So here it the kick stops. It's just a drum fill that I used here earlier as well. I used some panning automation, some claps. Same sample again. So that comes through again. But the coolest thing here, I think, is this fill. Very gritty. So I think it's this part that does that. So you have to hit. Once again, it's just like trying to find out what works and yeah, just dig through all the samples and splice or the samples that are in your database. And the cool part is, or what I always advise to do, I don't know if where the kickstart automation is. Oh, here it is. So whenever your gig is not playing, just mute the kickstart. So it really like helps with bringing the synths back here and here. Yeah, it was really cool. Just one clap here, full power here, and then go back into the track. But yeah, like once again, these are all really cool Leviathan and samples that I just all merged together. I think it was mostly inspired on this sound here, but yeah, really cool. And then all that happens in the second part of the track is just some added percussion. Nothing crazy, I think. Just some open hi-hats. Cool ride as well, with some padding on it. But this is all that's added in the second half of the drop, basically. Let's see if there is anything. Something down here, but I'm pretty sure it's muted. Because it was... Oh no, not fully. Let's see what it does. Just some phaser kind of riser. You barely hear it, so it doesn't matter that much. But there you go, that's the drop project. I'll show you quickly what's on the master here. So once again, this is probably what I just use to produce quickly. So first I have a compressor to like cut out the high peaks that are there. It's very good for like my workflow, I guess. So it's not even doing much now. It's doing quite a lot actually. It's just there to like cut off the biggest peaks. So the very low attack, very low release. Ratio is at 4, no makeup. Then we have a multiband compressor. I gain it quite a lot here because it ducks like what I always like to do with the multiband compressor, especially on my master, is have everything like obviously with the different bands, have everything ducked down, check how much it ducks down, and then add that back to it, so it stays consistent, but it still gets squashed the way you want it to be. So you got to be careful though, because now the first thing I do is on master is basically two compressors, so you don't want to overdo it. This fat filter is on the master, just boost this. We should probably be careful with this. Yeah, I might as well just remove this one. But there's some annoying fuses here that was really like resonating here, and this is just boost this up a little bit. And this is the Vintage Swarmer, which I always have on my master. Keep in mind though, because I see a lot of people that will copy these settings, drag it in, and then wonder why it's so distorted. The mix here is at like around 25%. So the drive the drive here says plus 4 dBs if I see correctly. It's kind of far. But it's only like 25%. So if you have it at 100%, you could just do this, put this at 1. So that's probably why it's distorting a lot. We have a quad imager. So just have everything below around 100 Hertz in mono. The mids were a bit wide with everything that was going on. So turn it down a little bit too. And boosted some of the highs, stereo imaging wise. Saturn, this one, is just a saturation unit. So everything on the low end, mid lows, there's no distortion at all. Sorry, that was my phone. But on the sub here, there is no saturation, just a little bit on the mids and then nothing on the high again. enable one less glue to make sure, like, if there are any peaks, that like before we limit it, it's squashed, so it doesn't clip those peaks with the limiting. And then here is just a limiter, nothing too crazy. I really like the invisible limiter, but you do you know. So yeah, that's it for the drop project file. I don't think the second drop. I don't remember these extra sounds being in the final version. I really like them though, so maybe that's a really cool sound. So let's save that one as well. It's also something I recommend if you find like cool stuff in your projects. Always like try to favorite them or put them in a folder that you can easily find. But yeah. And the reason why there's so much more here is this is basically the radio version. And then if I do this, I can just bounce the extended version and cut this part away, so it immediately goes to like the outro. But yeah, that's the drop version. Like I said, the break is in a different project, so I'll try to load that up right now. Once that's done loading, I'll be right back. The power of editing, I'll be back in 2 seconds. All right, here we go. I got the break project loaded up now as well. I think the most, the best parts to look at right now is the vocoder, as I said a little back ago in the drop project, because here I have it more set up more in detail, I think. And I'll just take you through all the samples that I used, all the techniques I used. So let's take a look at the vocoder first. So I think this is the best example, or this is the piano. Let's see what a vocoder is, this one. So this part, for example. And it's basically just a very simple routing trick, which is basically with all the vocoders. So you just take any synth. What I do a lot is just use the init preset of like Serum or Spire or whatever. And you take that and play some notes that you want the vocoder to play and put those under each other. So you have one audio file, which is the vocal. And then you have one MIDI file, which is the synth. And as you can see, they're both routed to like 20 and 21. And those I sent to 22. So for example, super simple vocoder. And what this vocoder does, it takes a signal from the left and a signal from the right and mixes that together, which is how you get a vocoder basically. So as you can see here, the vocal is routed to 20, which is completely panned to the left. Then you have the synthesizer, which is completely panned to the right. And they are both sent to mixer 22. And together it creates that sound. Because if I remove the panning of this, it just sounds like two. You just hear the. So if I turn that back on, you can really hear it morph into the sound that you're looking for. And as you can tell, but in the drop, there's a lot of cool stuff you can do. So you can use it to create cool vocal chops or whatever. Or in this case, for example, the intro as well. Let's see. Did I use that in the intro? I woke up. Let's go through everything here. So this is just a sub. A really nice sub actually. So this is just a sample. The sample is layered, the bass sample is layered with a piano. This is just volume automation for the bass sample. Then we have, just like the drop, cut those samples up or like edited the vocal in multiple ways. This is probably also from that same file that I showed you earlier with where I bounced out everything in one file. I just chop it up. Did the same for the intro to like kind of introduce a drop in the beginning of the track. Here's some more like echoes and stuff. Then we have some reverb samples, which is this one. Oh, here's a volume information for that. Another one. So this is pitched up bass sample. This is just a regular bass sample. Really cool way to introduce sounds or like seconds of the track. Then we have some more fills, which is probably also just samples that are used in the break, like percussion sounds. Once again, it's just going through Splice, going through your sample base, see what fits. And I heard some cool effects while I was going through it, so... And some impacts, and that's it. And I think there's already a bass sound playing here. Yeah, so here's a Reese bass. So what I didn't want is this impact, because this has a lot of low frequencies. If we don't have the automation, so cool trick that I use if you do want to use the low impacts to introduce a new section of the track, but it's still like it would be interfering with this Reese bass that's playing here. So what I do a lot is I have I can show you this, for example. So this is just an equalizer, and right when it hits the impact, it stays like this, but then right after it hits and the Reese bass, you want the Reese bass to take over, you automate this to go higher. So this low sub frequency doesn't interfere with the Reese bass that's playing. So I'm guessing this is the Reese bass. Yeah. But yeah, let's see what's the best to go through. So this is just the vocal. Once again, this is Ruffy. Great voice. Didn't have to do anything. He mixed it very well. I don't know if he mixed it or he wrote it with someone, but like super clean vocal. Really cool vocal chops in it as well.
Like a stranger. I'm by your side, I don't know why.
And he can hear really well how the vocoder like complements the vocal in the track.
I'm by your side, I'm on a high. I'm gonna take a leap of faith.
And this is just different stacks with the vocals. Let's see if there's anything crazy happening here. Yeah, so once again, there's a DS on it, probably also not loading here, but you just want to figure out what frequencies his S's are and just kind of mute that. A lot of DS programs will do that automatically. Avox Warm is just a saturation unit for vocals, which I really like, super easy to use. So this Velvet is like a kind of more subtle saturation. If you really want to go for the distorted sound, you can put it to crunch, and it will do it a lot more aggressively, as you can hear.
I'm gonna take a leap
then another vintage warmer, just to put some drive on it. There's a P controller here, but that's just to like get a signal of when the vocal is doing something, and then I routed it here to automate the reverb, basically just duck the reverb when the vocal is playing. There's a compressor on it as well. I really like the Pro C2 for vocal compression. Delay that is fading in and out. Probably, yeah, so as you can see here, there's an automation for the delay. So the delay is playing here, but not when the vocal itself is playing. So I just did it like by hand, was easier for some reason, I think. And then a kickstart, for like just a subtle one. The mix down at 37%. It's just here when the kick is playing, I think.
I'm gonna take under your control.
Oh, the kickstart automation is muted now, but like when the kick plays, I do the subtle side change, so the vocal ducks a little bit to make room for the kick, or at least so it feels more like it's more pumping. So that's it for the vocals. There's not that much happening. A lot of cool harmonies here as well.
I'm gonna take a leap of faith.
But that's about it for the vocal. So we have the intro now. Just a dry sample there as well. I don't think I had this on in the track, but the piano. This crystallizer though, really cool. I don't know where, maybe it is. Okay, so I used the crystallizer on the piano. That's why it's muted. So let's figure that out. So as you can hear, all the crazy background fluttering is this plugin right here, which is really cool. But what I like to do is just use that on the sound, as you can hear right now for the piano. And I like to just bounce that out then, and then just mute the sound and use that audio file. I don't know if I did it here, but like that's a cool way to like create new interesting sounds. So we have the intro done now, or like the introduction of the track.
I woke up like a stranger.
And we'll just go through everything that's happening in the break. Let's mute the vocals because we already went through that. You can hear better what's going on. So this is just some perc loops. This is just a music loop that I downloaded on Splice. Same story as the drop basically. What I like to do is go to Splice and look for song starters, music loops, stuff like that, and completely cut that up. As you can see, it's in reverse, it's time stretched, it's another time stretch, it's pitched down as well. A lot of processing, and all it does is just cut stuff up, completely make the sound unrecognizable, and use those as atmospheres, for example. So this one sample, all of these are all cut up and made it so it follows the note progression. So another fill, but as you can hear, these are all the same sample, pitched up, fading in, fading out. Just a really cool atmosphere in the back of the track. This is just a cool plug with a Valhalla room on it, so like the reverb echoes on. And there's a quite subtle bass here that follows like the melody of the vocal. And to amplify that effect, that like just these, because here is the vocal sample, that's where the reed space really opens. And to amplify that, I cut up more horns and everything. So
I'm outside, I don't know why.
And there you basically have it for the first part of the break. Super atmospheric. There's some automation here going on as well. There's some percussion. Just some shakers. Goes left and right with panning. And then there's some percussion here, down here. Once again, this is just like preference, right? There's the right. Some filtered claps. I don't know what this is. Oh, there's another reason. Okay, so this is one bass that's just like on the half beat, kind of like stutters. And then here's a reed bass that does the same thing. I muted them here because we already had the brass that like amplifies everything. This is muted as well, but that's the first part of the break.
I'm outside, I don't know why everything is changing. I'm outside, I'm on a high.
I think from there on we can go into the second part of the break. Once again, I'll mute the vocals because I think it will be more easier to hear everything. Here's some cool vocal chops as well, might be cool to show. Panning as well, like these last two, so let's go from left to right. But yeah, this is by the way, the sample that I was talking about in the drop file should be here somewhere. So I think that's this one. Yeah. And I just cut that up because I felt like it really fit the vocal really well. So added, duplicated it, muted it, filtered it a little bit. sampled the bass for it to follow along with the sample that we have here. And these are just the same claps as in the beginning, just unfiltered. Oh, there's still some filter on it. Here the same percussions. And then once again, just added a kick to it. And I think, yeah, it's the Kirby kick again. Just a hip hop sample that I just used the kick for. And something to add more like to the high end of the kick. And here you have this loop. I've used it in a lot of tracks. It's from the Vengeance Electro House, the second version of that sample pack. There's a folder there that's called Real Hi-Hats, and I use them a lot in breaks. Because as you can imagine, they are real hi-hats. They recorded for, like in the studio. It gives you that really organic like feel if you have like stuff like this in breaks. At least that's what I use a lot in my tracks. Put those up, and then same as in the drop, I just use some plucky samples, some toms. Another Leviathan sample, some more rides. Same one as the beginning, and there you have it basically. I don't know what this is. Alright, just accentuate the rhythm of the bass. There's some small samples here as well. It's just the reverse of that pluck that I showed you. Some grit as well. Let's see what this is. I pitched up by 12 and then switch the mode of the pitching. A lot of times when you pitch something really extremely, like for example on the whole octave, the way you pitch it also really alternates, changes the sound, which I really liked for this part to like add more character to it. As you can see, it like goes up and down with a filter here as well. And then the last thing I added was this. Just a drone vocal thing that goes on the same note. And then all of that together sounds like this. And then with the vocal, that sounds like this.
I'm gonna take a leap of faith. With every touch, I feel like I'm drawn to you. I thought I was.
And then we get to the build to the drop.
Your control, dealing with the monsters.
The percussion is mostly the same thing. I think there's one. Okay, the crystallizer is going crazy again. Let's see where it is. It probably is this one. Yeah. This gives it really dreamy effect. So this is just like a standard synth, standard pluck with the crystallizer on it. For now, I'll just mute it really fast because like it's going to be annoying if I keep pausing it and then the crystallizer keeps playing. But that's all stuff that's really cool to use if you want to make your sound more unique. Use more stuff to like in the background for atmosphere and stuff. But I don't think there's a whole lot to show you in the build-up. We'll go through everything, but a lot of it is just sounds that I've used here. So all the percussion you can see is also here. These sounds in the break here that I chopped up are back in the build-up. The thing that's really interesting, I think, here is, I don't know if it's this part. Oh, is it just? Yeah. So this sample, as you can see, Teddy Killer's Atmosphere Bass Hurricane. It's just a sample that I downloaded. And it's such a cool sound, especially with the reverb fading in, that I just used that sound pitched it to the notes of the track that it's playing. And you kind of get this cool delay effect if you play it and then chop it up, cut it up a little bit shorter, and have the filter go down a little bit, as you can tell. And I think that does most of the work in the drop, because other than that, it's just recycled stuff that I already used early in the project. I'm like trying to look if there's more stuff that I haven't shown yet. Because it's just a sub hit, some more effects that I already used. So in this part, it's just that bass sample carrying the whole thing. And then here, it's just some synths that I used here before as well. So there's just some risers. Simple stuff from the samples from the Vine. Then again, there, I think this is that clock-ish sound again. Yeah. Oh, yeah, this is the first time where we introduced the sound of the drop. Just so it like doesn't come out of nowhere when it drops. And there you have it, basically. So and there you go. That's an old version of the drop, but yeah, I think that just repeats for the second part of the drop as well, just a different part of the vocal.
I'm jumping right into you, yeah. So head over heels, over and under. Might be a big mistake.
So there you go. For the break, the mastering is probably, I bounced this out as a waveform, just as I did for the drop, and then start mastering it from there. But I would just assume that I used the way I mastered the drop that I showed you earlier for the whole track, and then maybe just automated some stuff. For example, as you can see here, what I do a lot is for the drop, automate the limiter. That's the last plugin on your master, at least for me it is. Should be for you as well, I guess. But yeah, then just automate the limiter so the drop hits a little bit harder. But other than that, that's it. I don't know if there's like anything here. Yeah, just me messing around trying to figure out what to do with the drop. Like, I don't know what this is. That's really cool. Okay, well, good outro then. Anyway, that was the masterclass for Monster. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments if you like this style of content, if you want me to do more, or if you have any more requests for different tracks. And yeah, like once again, thanks for watching. Let me know if you need any other tracks breakdown, and I'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much.